Good evening and Jai Hind kids. Long time, isn't it? But believe me, you are always there in our minds. Maybe out of sight for a while, but always in our mind and our heart. Today, I thought of telling you a story of a whale and of a boy about your age only. It's an adventure story. What is an adventure? When you experience new things outside your comfort zone. When you are willing to explore new things in life and take on risks and challenges head on. That is an adventure trip. Do you know what is a whale? Whales are big aquatic animals which live in the big seas and oceans around the world. They give birth to babies and nurture them with their own milk, and so they are known as mammals. They are aquatic mammals living in our oceans and seas. They are huge animals and they are also highly valued for their oils, their skin and their meat. And that is why they are also hunted down by human beings. And now around the world, whales are becoming more and more endangered species. Today I am going to tell you the story of one such whale, a big one. His name was Moby Dick, given by the American author Herman Melville. Herman Melville was an American author who wrote this story based on his own experiences about a whaling ship. Whaling ships are those ships which go into the high seas for months and months with experienced hunters who hunt whales with harpoons. What are harpoons? Harpoons are pointy spears, very sharp and very strong, which are aimed and thrown at the whales. The harpoons pierce the skin and flesh of the whales and cause so much bleeding and pain that ultimately the whale dies, and then it is dragged onto the ship. This is the story of Ishmael, who as a boy had a great interest in living out into the sea, but he was very poor. Since he loved the ocean, he decided to become a sailor and save his pennies by working on a boat. This was his wildest dreams. He always wanted to go and hunt a whale in the high seas, living his life with the sailors. Before departing, Ishmael spent the night at an inn where he met Queequeg, an Indian whale hunter. They became fast friends and decided to travel together. Now you can see Ishmael's adventure is about to start. The two friends found work on a boat called the Pequod, an enormous and beautiful whaling ship. The owner was a man called Peleg, though no one knew anything about the captain. After days on the high sea, Captain Ahab finally appeared. He was a man who always seemed angry. He had a large scar on his forehead and his face, and he had a wooden leg made while hunting a whale. He was injured while hunting a whale and he lost his leg, so he used to walk on a wooden leg. Captain Ahab had lost his leg when a giant whale attacked him years before. Since then, he had been following it without rest and promised to give a golden coin away to the first man who found it. This was the whale Moby Dick. The sailors called the whale Moby Dick, and they claimed it was so big and dangerous, and that it's because of him the sea looked even whiter, because the color of the whale was white, just as the foam of the sea whales. As they navigated south, Quiquet explained to Ishmael that whales were important to the people of the region. From these creatures, the villagers got meat, and they made soaps and candles, and most importantly, in those days, oil for the kerosene lamps to light up during the night. That is why the whales were so important. These were the days when electricity was not yet arrived in the society. One morning, the sailors caught sight of a whale, a big one. And what are the group of whales called? Schools of whales on the horizon. The men quickly got into boats and began shooting their harpoons. But there was no trace of the elusive white whale. After all of the hustle and bustle, Quiquet showed Ismail that of all the animals that made the ocean their home, Ismail listened with great interest, as he loved learning about the sea. So he listened to him about the sharks, the turtles, the fishes, and many kinds of other aquatic creatures which lived in the sea. There were many kinds of whales: the blue whale, the sperm whale, the grey whale. There were many kinds of sharks: the white shark, the bull shark, the hammerhead sharks. So many types of things. One sailor claimed to have seen Moby Dick, and the boat began to follow it. They saw a round white foam at the horizon. But as they drew closer, a gigantic octopus with 8 legs surfaced. The octopus is a creature with 8, you can say, legs, and they have a tubular body in which they suck things inside their mouth. They managed to escape it, and the Picard again set course to sail the 7 seas to find Moby Dick. Picard, the ship, started its journey sincerely now, and they managed to escape the octopus, but they were hell-bent on searching for Moby Dick. Now they reached the Indian Ocean. From the Pacific, they have now reached the Indian Ocean. While the Picard crossed the Pacific Ocean, a great storm started brewing. Tornadoes, typhoons, and huge waves shook the boat, preventing it from following its course. So, in the high seas, the ship had a rough time, very tough time. Tornadoes and typhoons and cyclones were pounding the vessel with waves as high as 20 feet, 30 feet. It was so bad that the ship could not stay on its course. After the storm, the sailors didn't know where they were. I have tried to use the compass. You know what is a compass? Which sets the 4 directions: north, south, east and west, to orient himself. But the storm had ruined it. Even the compass had got damaged. The captain of the ship could not make out where they were now. In that very moment, another whaling boat appeared. It was called the Rachel. Its captain indicated where he had last seen Moby Dick and told him that Let's follow it. You follow my vessel, and we will find the Moby Dick together. Finally, the crew arrived to where Moby Dick had attacked Captain Ahab. Grumpily, he climbed to the crow's nest and saw the animal from there, surfacing and puffing between the waves. Now, do you know what is a crow's nest? Crow's nest is a tall post on the ship. It is usually a small balcony-like thing on which the sailors climb up through a ladder and look with their binoculars all around the sea to see whether anything is approaching the vessel or not. And do you know why the whale surfaces at times? How do you know there's a whale in the distance? Whales generally, because they are mammals, they are not fish. They are just like us. They cannot stay underwater for long. They have to come up on the surface and breathe. They can stay under the water for some minutes, but not for long. So, after a small lapse of time, the whales usually surface on the water and they puff out great jets of water from their hollow in the nose, and they again breathe out the water and breathe in air, and again they sink in the water. So through that puffing of the water, that jet of water which comes out just like a fountain from the whale's mouth, the sailors and the harpooners, that is the hunters, could make out where the whales are, and they got ready to hunt it down. When the whales looked on the port side, Moby Dick approached on the starboard side. Now, what is the port side of a ship? The port side of a ship is the side of the ship which is towards the land, which is towards the dock or the port. That is why the side of the ship which is towards the land is known as the port side, and the side of the ship which is towards the open sea is known as the starboard side. Got it? Will you remember? So a ship always has two sides. The port side facing the land and the starboard side facing the open sea. So Moby Dick, the whale was very clever. So the moment the sailors lined up on the port side ready with their harpoons to pierce the whale swam to the other side of the ship, that is the starboard side. And when they looked over the prow, the whale appeared at the stern. When they wanted to look towards the tail side of the ship, the whale was towards the front side of the ship. So you understand how clever the whale was. This is how the hunt went on. This went on not for 1 day or 2 days. It went on for 3 days. The sailors were trying to catch the whale and pierce it with their harpoons and kill it. The men were exhausted, all except for Captain Ahab. He was hell-bent on killing the whale. Moby Dick also was getting tired. Its strength began to weaken after such a long battle. Ahab, the captain, realized this and threw a harpoon that reached the gigantic animal. But just then, the harpoon cord wound around Ahab's leg and he was dragged away by the animal. So, a harpoon is usually attached to a rope and the rope is dragged. Now, this rope got entangled with the captain's feet and he was dragged away by the powerful and gigantic whale. And this pulling away of the whale caused the ship to break. And the ship started sinking. Ismail jumped into the ocean just in the time everybody was crying out. Ishmael jumped into the ocean just in the nick of time. and was left floating, clinging to a piece of driftwood. Luckily, the whaling boat Rachel was nearby and came to rescue the young man. You remember again the other ship which had guided them towards the whale? So that ship rescued Ishmael. And that's how Ishmael became the only survivor of the legendary shipwreck. From that day on, he dedicated his life to narrating the great deeds that the crew of the Pequod lived that day and the obsession that eventually led to their disaster. What was the obsession? The obsession of the Captain Ahab to capture and kill Moby Dick, the great white whale who had once injured him, and because of his obsession to kill that animal, his whole ship sank, all his sailors and crew members died except Ishmael. This is the story of Moby Dick. This story has been made into a movie also. So once you're back in the hostel, I'm sure to watch it with all of you. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. Thank you. Bye bye.